Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Scourge League 3.16. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing a build diary of my day one, giving you my feedback on the league mechanic, what I think about it. I also want to go over how the skeletons and our league starter felt in day one league start, especially with the new league mechanic and Scourge League. I already did that? Does that work? Okay. Only 15k now. Nice. It was. I wanted to get sniped. Dude, this is so fucked up. What is this lab today? At least it's good. What the hell? This looks different. This used to be... What the hell was that? I need a clip off that. What the hell was that? Did his green thing just turn into a big ass fucking pillar for a second there? Check it. Kill the new monsters. Clear it. Back. Still have a shit ton of bar left. In a new room. Check it. Kill the monsters. Ow! Oh, I'm dead. The rest was the hard one. I got fucked up. Jesus. Alright, so you've seen all those clips. Day one went really well. It was a really great stream. I had a great time. Even with the little bit of DCs, honestly, that was so minor for how major this league start was in this league launch. It was huge. We had so many players. This was absolutely insane. The queue was at 50,000 at one point. What the heck? So I can only imagine. And it only seemed like you like half the people were disconnecting. Not everyone was. So, and then it wasn't that bad. It got cleared up, and then we were able to play. And I pushed all the way to Act 9, which was really good. I've made pretty good progress. We're level 65. The skeleton necro is going really well. I wanted to update the some of the league mechanic stuff. So you saw me die there, and but you also saw we're melting the league mechanic. We're clearing screens easy, and then what happens is you could tell in the clip that so I'll say overall I really like the league mechanic. I love being able to phase in. It feels like you save up a little bit, you phase in, you kill the monsters that are around you, you phase out. There's no point in staying in it and running to the next area. It's faster to phase out and then phase back in, and you just keep phasing in and out constantly. So I phase in and out like 20 times in an area. It's beautiful, and I think that's the way to do it. Just constantly toggling it. Playing with the both dimensions. You're basically playing two dimensions. You have both. You actually, when you get really good at it, you're using both dimensions to its maximum. And then, so the only downside though, one of the biggest things I found that I'm like, what's going on there? The league mechanic makes terrain. It's a new dimension with new terrain that wasn't there before, so things that aren't an open pathway for us become completely blocked, and then there's interactions that we don't expect, like you go over a barrier like I showed in the clip, and then there's a bunch of monsters and my minions aren't there right away, and so then I die, and so you'd have to think, what minion would have been better in that situation? I guess Carrion Golem, just because of walls. If they're just going to be creating walls, and I've mentioned that zombies and stone golems can't deal with walls before, this is just like phase run's gonna have trouble too, so we're gonna have to build around Scourge mechanic, and that's pretty interesting. I don't mind it because it changes the flow of gameplay, so that you have to actually think about it and change your build to a new play style. But wow, it feels really... That's all three of my deaths are barriers and Scourge. Every single death I've had is to the Scourge mechanic, nothing else, and it's like barriers, and then I go and there's monsters. And But other than that, I absolutely love the league mechanic. You take your items. I've scourged everything. So like for example, the helmet. All my like a lot of my items, I was taking normal items in this league mechanic. You can take normal items, put them in the crucible, and when you corrupt them, it turns rare. If you corrupt a magic item, it stays magic. So just as a fair warning. So then we were able to take white items and just throw them into the crucible, corrupt them, get a Scourge implicit. So I showed some armor, but I lost Chaos Res. The Chaos Res didn't matter. Here I got Chaos Res. And then this one, I lost lightning but gained all res, so it's a +2 res. This is 18 fire res. It's pretty interesting. And so you can corrupt your stuff. But then the main thing, I was getting rare mods, and I was actually getting res for free, which was pretty sick. And then to get tier 2, it's going to be item level 45. And I don't know what the tier 3 is yet, but I'm going to assume item level 68 if tier 2 was 45. So you just put your item in there, kill some monsters with the transforming in the blood, like going into the other mode, then you transform it, and you can do it a second time and then a third time once you get to item level 68. So the first one was 45 to get a second one, and then I have these skills, and so I want to go over these, and don't just copy what I have here. I want to talk about it. So I'm going to first explain what I did wrong, and I'll explain why I think it's wrong for the beginning. So I think I should have done these 5 and skip this one, because the concept is I only have 2 weapons, but I have 4 jewelry, so I should have done jewelry. And then armor. I have more armor pieces as well, so I should have done armor. And I should, like, weapon is better when you're doing weapons specifically late game and you're targeting a weapon and you're only corrupting weapons, and you can change it, and it only costs 10 Val Orbs and 10 Regrets, but at the beginning you don't want to have to pay this, so put 10 in these 2. Good job. And then you put 1 in here so you can transform unique, because it's the OP one. And the way this works is like D2, Diablo 2. You have to put 10 points in the first row, 10 points in the second row. So you split it into the most OP one, and that's it. And then you move on to the next row. You don't spend more than 10 points in each row. So 1 point here guaranteed, and then the 5 points here guaranteed, because I think adding a link is better than adding a socket. So I did the link over the socket, and then here I did the 2 that modify the beneficial and detrimental modifier. So on these Scourge gear, I've done life chaos, for example, and so the detrimental mod is the minus and the beneficial is the plus. So imagine increasing the tiers of the good one and decreasing it of the bad one. That's obviously good. And then the other one was adding mods to your item, which is like an Exalted Orb Slam, which late game won't be good. So I think these 2 are clearly the strong ones, because they're actually affecting the Scourge mechanic, and this is just an Exalted, which is, we can do that anyways. So then this is obviously the cool one for the next row, Crucible slot. Oh my god, an extra Crucible slot. We can do 2 items. And then, in a Scourge map item absorbs 1% more corrupted for each time the map has been transformed, and the maps absorb 5% more corruption. So and apparently also you'll be able to unlock this whole thing eventually. Like, you will get enough points to unlock all of it. You will get a high enough level. It's just currently where League starts, so you're leveling it, and apparently it'll take a long time, so you should put the points in the good stuff first and then fill in the rest after. So you would obviously put the 1 point in the Crucible slot, and then I think it's very clear both of these are really good, but this one seems really good when you're doing the Scourged maps, but if you're not doing them, it's useless, where this one is actually making the Scourged maps. So I think you do this one first. So it'd be Crushed Organs, Crucible slot, then you do the map, and then we can get the Restless Nightmares, extra Dream Furnace slot, and then there's the chance to transforming to grant an additional beneficial modifier. So instead of just 1 good mod, you get 2, kind of like adding an additional remnant modifier for the expedition. That's OP, and a chance to raise the tier of an explicit modifier on equipment. So that's upgrading. That's insane, dude. You could upgrade influence mods potentially later, and like could it turn it into a Maven mod? That sounds so insane if that's... But it has a low chance. It goes up to 10. So these are very powerful at the bottom, obviously. This makes the Scourge maps, and this is super items. Super items. That's where you're getting the bread and butter. That's double the power if you can hit a double beneficial mod, and if you can raise the tier of mods. That's really crazy depending on the mods you raise. Yeah, so the league mechanic is really cool, and that's the recommendations for the tree. But it won't matter because, like I said, you're going to get all of them after anyways. But it does matter in the order that you do them because the higher levels are probably going to be a lot more XP. Yeah, so then how is our build going? Dude, it's so good. It's just one-shotting all the packs. I click one skelly and everything dies, and it's beautiful. And the actual like league, I only had a few DCs at the beginning. It was like a little bit of queue times, but besides that, after that it was fine, and then it was smooth sailing. That first lab was actually so tough. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I should have been melting him, and he somehow was really tanky, and then there was all those circles of death, and then I do the second lab, and then I get my ascendancy, and I do the second lab, and then the pillars, his green thing turns into pillars. Like, what is going on? There's so many weird things. And I had a lot of my loot bugging out where I'd have a heavy belt, but the name would be like NJFV, and you're like, what? That's a heavy belt, not... So half my items on the ground were like bricked Krangled names, and that was kind of funny too. But overall, the build's been going great, and I absolutely love the season. I'm excited to get back into it. I just needed to do this build diary for you, go over the league mechanic, and the main concept that I figured out is you literally just go into an area, and then you kill some monsters, and as soon as you can shift in the area that you haven't shifted before, you should probably shift there, because there's gonna most likely be monsters there. And I've also noticed you can't shift right away back, so it's actually clearly it would have been OP if you could have instantly shifted, but they added a delay, so you shift, you see all the monsters, so you kill the monsters around you, and then you're like, well, instead of running and looking for more, I'll just walk in the normal mode, keep my bar, and then I'm going to fill it back to the halfway again really quickly, and I can go again, kill some more monsters. That's a harpy. Omen wand. What's that have? I don't know. I lost all my bar because I was looking at items. It's probably not the best idea to look at the items while you're in the mode, and you don't need to look at the ground items. The whole point of the mode is that it teleports you back to the beginning so that you can loot the items you've gotten during it. It's kind of like Delirium, but with the auto... like backtrack, so you can loot while not messing up your first map. It's 2 maps in one. It's like a Delirium, but it's layered, and it's so much better. It's so good. And then so you don't waste it, basically, because there's so much of the map and area that you're not going to have monsters on, especially in the beginning, maybe even in mapping in the beginning. But then later when you get 3 jeweler's orbs. Oh yeah, they added stack currency too. This is so major. This league is so good, guys. Oh my god. It's so good. It's so insane. But yeah, I just wanted to show my playstyle around the league mechanic and how it like actually completely changes how it feels, because you're more saving it and not just burning it all. This doesn't work as well on this one, but in some open maps where there's like big areas of nothing. I've also found this bug where your skeleton starts having a nightmare even though you're out of the nightmare, and he continues to attack the air, trying to attack the monsters in the nightmare. But yeah, it's fine. It doesn't actually matter. But then you build up this shit and you get 62% more damage, but more rarity. It's so good. I really like Scourge overall. And I've been enjoying, because imagine you go into the Scourge and there's no monsters. Why would you stay there, right? Just unscourge as fast as you can, keep your bar, and then re-scourge in a new area where there's potentially more monsters. Like, it's so good once you see that or hear that, I hope. Nice. So yeah, So yeah, I wanted to come back to our build. So I wanted to go over it. So pretty much, my gear I showed, the Scourge implicits actually have been pretty shit for me. I've gotten really unlucky. I feel like it hasn't impacted my gameplay that much. The biggest thing was being able to make rare items early, and that's like just a shittier harvest in that way. But I think I was just unlucky, or I used it slightly wrong. I realized after that if you edit your items and then you corrupt them, it would be better. So if I used, like, for example, I figured it out after, like, this ring I made with essence, or I dropped it. I can't remember. I basically get good items and then make them in, like, get the extra corruptions, because it's doing the rare thing isn't that powerful, where having a good base and then corrupting it is obviously more powerful. So I could have used my essences, make things with links, and maybe orbs of binding once I started getting them. I got one at like 60 something. I already had like 4 links. So overall, no tabula. I've had to run a 4 link the whole time, but even with it's basically a 3 link because it's melee splash. So I'm insta killing bosses still with the Valskelly and the Spirit Offering. It's really powerful, and that's on a 3 link basically. And with our tree of the way we do our league start. And I've really liked the way it went. Our minions had pretty good survivability. Now they're already at 83 res at 66, like, it's disgusting. And I already have Pride, Skitter bots, and all, like, fitting a ton of auras, and I still have 239 res. I Pride, Vitality, and Skitter bots. Like, this season's insane. What did they do, man? It's so powerful. And I forgot to take my Fearsome Force note. I'm going and getting it now. But yeah, my actual gear, so I was going over it. I barely have life on, like, any piece. My ring's like my best piece of gear. It's my most recently upgraded piece of gear. And then my wands, I've only got 20 minion damage, like 24 or 29. So 53 total, and that's 2 Muttering Essences of Fear. I got those 2, but I didn't get any other fear essences, so I've been pretty unlucky there. I got a bunch of other ones. Look, I got a Wailing Contempt. Could have been a fear, dude. No, and then yeah, just reses. It's all junk. You could have more life, more reses, and then on the next, this reses right now. Before the next Katava, so before I kill Katava, I'm gonna go do my next lab, and I'm gonna get my Commander of Darkness, and that's how I'm gonna res cap for her, so I don't have to worry about that. And then mapping, PogChamp. So today I'm gonna get to maps. We're gonna push and then start progressing my Atlas and start trying to get map sustain. I already have dropped some maps from Blood Aqueduct. It's pretty sick, dude. I'm excited. And I already have 9C. Prices of Primordial Might were like 9C day 1, and then they went up to 50 or something apparently. And Cold Iron points were like 2.5x. We'll see what they go to now. Hope you guys have been enjoying the league start as much as I have. It's been absolutely wonderful. This build is insane. It's so strong. It's so powerful. This league is insane too. I've had pretty fucking shit gear, but hey, it's still going well. I'm glad I have such a powerful build that can allow such a shit fucking gear setup. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, thank you guys so much for all the support on the stream, dude. 76 subs yesterday. Got me to 123. What the heck? Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are insane. So generous. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon also, and my YouTube members who financially support the channel. I can't do this without you guys, so thank you guys for all the support, and thank you to anyone new who joins the Patreon and YouTube members today, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!